this episode we have. Are you okay?
I was yawning.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to go like right in the.
So this episode.
Just perfect. I'm ready, love.
Welcome to the second time we've recorded episode 7's intro. I fucked up on Sunday and I didn't record the intro and outro, and I'm really sorry, but I'm low-key glad because we can talk about probably the most exciting thing that will happen all week. So we're recording the intro and the outro on a Tuesday, and this morning all these amazing pictures and videos of Joe at the Dior show at Fashion Week in Paris came out.
I'm speechless. I can't process today. I can't.
I mean, can you? It's giving like A-list celebrity. I mean, and here's the thing, we got what we should have gotten at the Emmys from him today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was worth the wait for sure.
And I just have to say, like, he got a nice skin recovery from going to that Arctic Monkeys concert.
He definitely he has a pretty vamped up skincare routine because his skin was glowing today. Danielle, you gonna make it? You okay?
I'm like those videos on TikTok where it's like, I'm here with you in the moment, but I'm not here mentally. I'm just replaying the pictures in my head.
Absolutely.
Shout out to I'm calling her our Paris Fashion Week correspondent.
Hey.
Her name is.
She's a phenomenal specimen, and we need to hire her on full time.
Yeah. So her Instagram handle is Brookie, BOROOKIEY monster. She did an incredible job today.
Just
wow.
In the loop.
She fulfilled this hole in my heart that I've had for a few days and was just breathing life into us today. Just message after message. And I was like, yes.
Well, and every time you thought you had gotten like everything you were going to get for the day, she just like drops two more. And she just kept them coming. And I was like so excited about it.
Absolutely.
I do have a funny story of me at work today getting those pictures if you guys want to hear about it.
Please.
I made a fool out of myself. About midday, I will start doing what's called sourcing, which is where I'm going out and finding candidates to interview, right? Mm-hmm. So I put on my big noise canceling headphones and I just blast music and I get to work. We received a message from Brooke. Yay! And I'm scrolling. I'm thinking I'm being quiet. I am not being quiet. My manager walks up to me and she's like waving her hand at me, and I look up and she like does the motion to take my headphones off, so I do. And I'm like, what? She goes, Danielle, you're making so much noise. Just to give you guys an idea, I was literally going, oh my. And for the most part, my office is pretty quiet. And so then I look over to my right and my payroll supervisor is over there and her face is just like, what the fuck? Because I guess I was like hitting the table and like making noises. And I go, how loud was I? And they go, everybody was looking at me. And so, yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. This is a highlight of our day. Would not have talked about this until episode 8, but I'm so fucking thankful.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about this. I like had to write down the stuff that happened last week because I completely like blacked it out. Do we want to talk about more of the Dior? Like, I mean, there's so much to unpack. Like, I mean, we don't have to go through all of it, but first of all, a gentleman. Can we talk about that?
Yes.
He was
gentleman and a
umbrella.
scholar.
Yeah. He looked great today. I think he looked the most handsome we've seen him at one of these shows for sure. But where the fuck was the chain? Where was my rogue curl? Okay? There is a patent pending on that fucking curl. Where was it?
It was still there. You can find it. Like, it's literally on the zoom ins on his hair. You can see it. It's been tamed for
out
the day.
And proud. I need the curl out and proud. I can't.
Maybe he wanted to really be like extra cleaned up because it's
Well,
fashion week. And
can you imagine him in that suit with a rogue curl? Like, I think the world might actually fall on its axis and implode on itself.
Do you think that's why they put it away? You're like, we're already giving them too much.
They can't handle this today. Don't do it.
Today was a great day for sure. But I do want to talk about TUDUM.
Do we have to?
It's gonna take like 3 seconds because I don't know what honestly, it's the same fucking shit that happened at Lollapalooza where we thought he was I'm sorry, we as too many people, where I thought he was coming out to play with Metallica. What happened at the Emmys where we thought he was gonna show up, he was nowhere to be found. And then at TUDUM, we're hoping we were going to get some type of confirmation about Eddie. And
Nope.
We got a 3.5-minute fucking blooper reel and said, thanks so much. That's our time.
And then Joe showing he's a super fan of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The trivia game.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw that the total time that they spent on Stranger Things was 4 minutes and 52 seconds. Whereas on average, the other TV shows got like 8 to 12 minutes. And they saved it for the very last portion of the United States portion of it. Was that right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The bloopers were chef's kiss. 10 out of 10.
Adorable.
So good. But that's not enough. That's not enough.
If you were going to give me a blooper reel, I needed it to fill in the rest of the time. I needed it to be like a long one, you know? But guess what made up for it? Today made up for it.
His hair was short back in like Brazil. Those eyes were like killing everyone in the room with that just...
They were super chocolatey today.
They were like that dark, like 90% Godiva chocolate.
Cacao. The cacao.
Cacao. That's what we say now when we see like extra chocolate. We're like, cacao. Sorry.
That's fine.
I could honestly spend a whole episode talking about today. Like, honestly, there's
what we might spend if he's there this for the week, we might have content. We might have to dedicate all of episode 8. By the time that this episode comes out, we will know.
Yeah. Imagine all the other outfits. I mean, he can't just do all black.
Green.
See, we don't care about TUDUM. We're just like, and back to Dior.
But you know what? Jamie was at the YSL show today.
That's
Jamie
right.
was there with his lovely, beautiful
with his
girlfriend.
girl.
They looked so beautiful together.
Stunning.
Only other thing I want to talk about before we get into our incredible fucking interview with Cole Miller from TikTok. There is a music video.
Irish Mike.
By a rapper called Irish Mike, and our boy has yet another tragic story.
His dance moves, first off, absolutely sensational.
We were going to review another one of his characters this week, but instead we decided to review Drunken Frat Boy. What do we say about this video? The video is absolutely bonkers. There's a guy in a ski mask, a girl in a ski mask. Joe's wearing like this fratty outfit. He looks drunk, but I will say the man can dance, and he's got it in the hip movement. All I'm saying is a little bit of salsa, a little bit of bachata, merengue, some Celia Cruz. He can do it. I know he can do it. I feel like he'll learn it very quickly.
He could fucking hula. Put a little skirt on him. Let's go. Or
Most
not.
definitely. Most definitely. I was delayed because I was thinking about it.
I had to picture it too.
I got a visual and I needed a second to process what I was thinking about.
I needed to think about it too, to be like, yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
Because immediately my brain went to the picture of Joe in the skirt with the disco ball, and I imagined him hula hooping. So
That's
my
so
apologies
funny.
for the delay. I was just processing.
No, that's fine.
What a fucking week. We last week was pretty, you know, we had the video that came out and stuff, and then TUDUM, and I was like, okay, but this today, woof, buddy,
Woof.
woof, woof.
We had a bit of a drought for a second, and all they were giving us was like this like little pebble of like just, like it was, you're just like, this is not like Wonderland fucking Esquire like amount of water that I need to quench this thirst.
Danielle was
Yeah.
grasping at like whatever she could grasp at, and so the whole thing that there is like a whole thing that went down with a photo and a chair.
My life has been altered, okay? Like, I have been so caught up on this picture of Joe in this godforsaken chair that I have made a whole series of its own on my TikTok. We've called it the Chairgate because listen, it'll still keep going because
Until we get that interview.
I'm convinced that it's a Stranger Things interview now more than ever.
And I think he's just an outfit repeat. He wore the same outfit, and then, but the thing is, like, we had never seen him in that promoting anything Stranger Things related. It was just that Catherine Great photo shoot that outfit reminded me of. So that's why I thought, oh, that must be from that. But it's a different red chair. So.
You see my eyes gaping? I'm like, what do you mean it's another red chair?
Is there more than one red chair?
But you're referring to the other one. I understand.
Is it Chairs Gate?
Chairsgate? Yeah, but I was literally grasping at anything I could make content out of, and it just kind of stuck. And I thought I was losing my mind, and that this was the Mandela effect, and that this picture didn't actually exist. And because I couldn't find it after I talked about it, and Laura's like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I don't know what you're talking about." Like,
And I felt so bad because I passed the fuck out, and then I woke up at like 1 a.m. I'm like, no, I remember this photo. And Danielle was just like, and I'm like, I am so sorry I wasn't awake to like back you up.
Nope, you were not.
Because I remembered the picture.
Like, is this like the Bernstein Bears spelled differently? Like, does this chair picture actually exist? And Laura's just like, probably
No,
not. I don't remember it.
doesn't exist.
And I'm over
I have
here
no
like,
idea. She sent it to the chat twice beforehand. And the thing is about our group chat, honestly, it goes so fast sometimes that like we miss things. And I definitely missed that photo. And so that photo came out around a time when there was another black and white photo of him sitting down in that all brown outfit with the shoes that I do not like. I don't know if
The
you guys know
loafers?
what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, Laura. I don't know
don't
what you're
know.
talking about.
There's a pair of shoes that he wore one time, and I just want to like, I hate them. I thought that's the photo that you guys were talking about, and I was like, there's no mic on that picture. There's no mic. There's no people around him. Like, it's just him sitting down. What are you talking? And then she explained, and then she sent the picture.
When I found that picture, there was the biggest sigh of relief because I was convinced that the hyperfixation had taken over and I had gone too far down a rabbit hole and I was not coming back out. And I said, I got to step back and pump the brakes at this point if I'm making up scenarios that didn't happen.
So gonna quit and be like, I can't do this anymore, guys. I need to work on my mental health.
It was great while it lasted, but I need to do some me time.
We have Chole Miller, who, if you know her, I know, right? If you know her from TikTok, she is this like gorgeous blonde woman who stands in her kitchen and rants about, you know, anything. And so most recently, she's been ranting about Joseph Quinn, Charlie Cox from Daredevil, and she made a few videos about Andrew Garfield. And the way that she talks about them just really just kind of encapsulates the female gaze for me. And like, also the things that she points out about them just kind of really lines up with that. And I'm completely obsessed with her. And I was like a little, you know, I randomly commented on one of her videos and I was like, hey, do you want to be on our podcast? And she's like, yeah, tell me when. And I lost my fucking shit.
Yeah.
It was such a quick moment. Like, I was just like, oh, we're doing this. Okay, all right.
It really came together so quickly, and we're so fucking thankful. And I mean, she's a goddamn rock star.
She is.
Goddamn rock star.
Without further ado, let's get into our time of Chole Miller.
Chole Miller is in the building.
Man. I know, it's so weird. Just like where do you start? Because like normally whenever we start recording, we kind of get into it and we're like, hey, how's it going? But we have a guest today, and I'm so fucking excited. I'm also kind of like a little, I don't know what the. Yeah, I guess I'm like a little starstruck because I've been watching Chole for a while. I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to put that kind of pressure out there, but Chole, as you can see, we're absolutely chaotic. I don't know if that comes across whenever the podcast is up, but this is pretty standard.
That's okay. It makes me feel at home. I feel very content.
Good. Are you a good proponent of chaotic energy? Because if
yeah.
this is gonna be the best.
Oh yeah.
She's like, this is my family. This is my family.
Welcome, Chole. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you
for coming on.
Of course.
So, I mean, obviously, I want to know. I would like to know about you first. Like, where are you from? How'd you get into this whole thing? How'd you enter the fandom? Did you get shoved like off a cliff into the fandom?
Yeah, kind of. So I don't know. So I have my own thing on TikTok, you know, and I kept getting people saying, hey, have you watched Stranger Things? You would really like Eddie Munson. He's exactly the type of character that you always just yell about in your dumb kitchen. And I was like, I got it. I hear you. But I didn't watch season 3 because they do it like every 2 years. And just the way that my mind works, I'm like, I don't have the time. I got so many other things going on. And then I just get bombarded with edits, and you're like, well, I'm gonna see what this guy's about. I gotta. And then I just watched the recap wrap, and then I just started right into season 4 and was like, okay, yep.
I get it.
People know me a little too well.
Isn't that kind of great?
I don't like people like telling me like that you'll like this because I know you. But I just put it all out there, so it's just like, oh shit, they're right. Damn it. And I hate when people are right about me.
Can I ask you when your birthday is, what your sign is?
May 11th, and I'm a Taurus.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I shake my head like I know what that means.
When Joe's new birthday came out, you were just kind of like, what the fuck?
Well, for a while there, Cole's sign and Joe's sign were the same until it wasn't. And then
it might still be.
It might still be.
Dagger in the
I'm
heart.
convinced next time somebody asks him, somebody's going to be like, oh, October 11th is my birthday.
I love
then
that
what?
so much. He's just taking the piss all the time.
I really hope that's what it is. Can you imagine Google just keeps updating his fucking birthday? Like, what
He was
is
born
it?
in 1968.
Oh my
Actually, a time
God.
traveler.
I can't, Gen Z.
Real DILF action now.
Oh man, I don't think I can imagine a single person that would be like, never mind. They'd be like, yes, what a young looking boomer.
He's got a great attitude for a boomer.
There you go.
I'm convinced that
I think
once we interview him, manifest, I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
hand your passport over, sir. We're going to examine this officially when the fuck you were born. We're going to do it.
The passport, can you imagine?
His passport
Can
photo.
we look
Oh
at
my
your
God.
passport photo?
And they don't let you smile, so he's just going to be like,
He gives you one from Australia.
Yeah, he's not
I'm
even
not
from
even
England.
English.
He's actually Australian.
he's been fake. That's why
And a
he
whole dupe.
always does an Australian accent, and he does it bad. But that way no one knows. I mean,
He's taking
We're
the
on
piss.
to him.
taking the
I
piss.
know,
Taking
that
a
would be
piss.
absolutely fantastic. You didn't start, so your page didn't exactly start with Joe. Like, but you did talk about some other characters. So what are some of those other characters that you had like gotten into that like you go off in your rants about? And are you still talking about them today? Charlie Cox and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, 100%. Usually, those are my big 3. But
I love that.
It started with just like having some kind of an outlet just to yell about characters and stories and stuff like that, because I've been doing this for a long time on Instagram, but it was just like my high school friends that followed me and they don't care, which is fine. So I just took it over to TikTok and people just started watching it, and then Spider-Man No Way Home came out. And it was the exact same thing, that just edit after edit of Charlie Cox and Daredevil, and I was like, I'm gonna see what this is about. And then that's just been it until it was Eddie Munson. And then I just love Andrew Garfield, so that'll never die.
Well, he's about to come out in something soon too, right? Like I keep seeing things about him. Either that or maybe the fact that he was at the Emmys made me think he was going to be in something
and all
soon.
white. That was like a thing with the men there. They're like, we're God now, so we wear all white.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Did you see him at the Emmys?
I saw the video of him taking off the glasses going, you ready? I'm like, yeah. What are you doing? Take it off.
Oh my God. That is so funny that he said that.
He's the
was
best.
just like, he's like, I know what they want. I'm going to give them what they want because I'm Andrew Garfield.
I know, right?
Pretty sure that's exactly what he thought.
I know. I mean, I guess after a certain point, if you're in that industry, you eventually to kind of start to figure out what people are going to want. And you're just like, meh, I'm here. I'm pretty tipsy. I've had a couple of cocktails. Let me just...
Well, I got to imagine being in front of those cameras all the time. You're just like, I'm going to do something to entertain myself.
Yeah.
This seems awful.
Yeah, like it's always entertaining for the fans. What about me?
Yeah.
How am I going to be entertained? Mm-hmm. No, that's freaking great. I absolutely loved No Way Home, but the little cameo Charlie Cox had in there too was pretty. I got spoiled on that one though. Oh my gosh, I can't stay away from the clock app long enough to not be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when that whole thing went down,
Don't Worry, Darling, like completely spoiled for me.
really? I just
I'm
kind of go
scrolling
past
so
it.
fast through TikTok right now because I'm supposed to go see it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's what my roommate said. She's like, just keep scrolling. And I'm like, no.
There's like a scene where he's like yelling and then no one's taking it seriously. Like he's yelling and screaming at her and then he's like, and people are like,
I'm at the point right now where like I think it's just a review where somebody's like walking out of the theater and being like, here are my 2 cents about the Don't Worry Darling movie, and then they're like, the best thing about this movie was the drama going on behind it, and I'm like, okay. The behind the scenes drama was way more interesting than the movie itself, and then they spoil the movie 10 seconds later, and I'm like, okay, well I guess I'm not gonna go see it anymore.
are you going to make a video about it, Cole?
I don't know.
Like
Were you talking to me?
I think you're Cole,
I
right?
think you're, yeah, Cole.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear my name.
I don't know if you were going to make a video, like, because your review videos and, like, if you have a opinion about something, they always do well. And people love it. People love to know what you have to say, so.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe if there's something that I feel like I want to say about it, I will. But, like, it does feel like everything surrounding it is just the stupid behind the scenes stuff.
So Cole, you're from Michigan. You're not originally from Michigan though. We talked about that last. And
I'm
currently.
I'm in Michigan now. I'm from Indiana, and then did a stint in Florida.
Question: Is Hawkins actually? Is there an actual Hawkins in Indiana? No.
No, I googled it of where it was like relatively supposed to be because I was like, I know there's no Hawkins. Where is this supposed to be? So it's basically I'm from Fort Wayne, and then there's Indy. Hawkins is supposed to be like in the middle of those two things, from what I understand, closer to like Purdue. That's why that one guy when they go to the big gun store, I can't remember her name, but
Warzone,
and I can't remember who. This shot's starting to get to me.
It'll hit. It'll be good.
Yeah. Why do I just keep thinking Joan? Her name's not Joan.
What?
Who's Maya Hawke's character? Why am I
Robin.
Robin, thank
Robin.
you. Joan, Robin, whatever. But the girl that she likes, her boyfriend has a Purdue jacket on. So they're in that general area.
I had no idea.
But there is a school that they film at, and that's where they put all like the Eddie like stuff, like the Eddie Shrine Memorial. Like there's an actual school.
Yeah, I have no idea where that is.
I think it's in Georgia.
Oh, is that where they
It's in
film?
Georgia. Yeah.
I looked that up too because I was like, why does this place look so much like Indiana? I know they didn't film in Indiana. We would have known about that.
Oh, that's right. They do film in Georgia. Okay, I forgot that Hawkins was Indiana. Okay, Midwest-ish.
So one thing that I know I want to ask is, have you seen Joe in anything other than Stranger Things?
Yes, I had seen Kin.
What was that?
Very
I heard
sad.
that was really good. Danielle really likes that. We were supposed.
I
to
liked it. I mean, that's just one of the. I mean, we have an entire podcast podcast dedicated to the man. But that one I thought was very... Seeing that right after Stranger Things and seeing, like, how obviously classically kind of trained he is.
Yeah.
Just a different kind of element. But, I mean, he's still doing the same, like, older brother figure that you come to know with Eddie Munson. But I've seen that one. That little thing he did where he was, like, the drug dealer.
Oh, my God. Hoist.
Yeah.
That shit was so fucking funny. I
thought I was high. I was like, what is going on here? And then he like handed drugs off, and I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
And then they just hand back each other's money and then the drugs. And I'm just like, just hide it. Like, why are you having to undo the transaction just because someone walked in?
Yeah, it took me a while to realize he had like run out with like and like tried to run away like Mary Poppins through like the block. That shit.
Well, and I had just seen that on TikTok, and I was like, what could the context possibly be? And I was like, oh, he's a drug dealer. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes so much sense now.
Of course. The only reason he'd be running away with a waving a black umbrella around the block.
I don't know.
Those
Brits sometimes, I don't know what they're doing over there. Could have been a Mary Poppins thing.
I loved it because like one of the guys was like, that's a weird one. He's like, yeah, he's only my South London dealer.
And then I had just finished Catherine the Great.
Oh,
that was so good. But his character,
the most annoying character I have ever seen. He plays it so well. Mm-hmm. He plays it so well. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be.
It's infuriating. It's infuriating. But okay, I have a follow-up question. Do you find, because we were talking about this a couple episodes ago, do you personally find that knowing that you're a fan of his, find yourself to be more forgiving towards asshole characters, towards his asshole character?
No, absolutely not.
I love that.
Just because I don't know, if you can play especially like with Catherine the Great, I was like, oh, I know he's already a good actor, but he's a very good actor. If he can make me hate him. Yeah. You're a good actor because you're doing your job.
That's absolutely correct.
The spoiled brat, my mom says I can't be king and blah, blah, blah. You're like, I don't think you should, man. It's probably right.
My turn. I think she's got a point, my guy.
Yeah, she's like, no, you just give me heirs and we're going to move on with our lives.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that, like, with Game of Thrones, like, when he's told Arya Stark, base fuck off. Like, if we didn't know who Joe was, which I've seen it before I knew Joe, like, and I was just like, man, fuck this guy. But now that it is Joe, I'm just like, damn, that jawline, though. Like
I know. You're like, but is he just trying to do his job?
Just trying to protect the stocks.
The media...
All of a sudden we're hating on the working class? No, I don't think so.
For
not
real.
Not on my watch. Not on my night watch.
No.
I'm sorry.
The night watch.
I'm sorry.
Love it. At the wall.
I'm sorry. I've started my puns for the night. But speaking of Catherine the Great, you had talked about one of the videos you'd made about, you know where I'm going with this, because I think it's such a good point. You had made a suggestion about a character he should be playing, just off of one scene, and I'd like to, I forget what, it was a drag scene where he was like in drag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's in drag. Full drag, looking great.
He really did such a good job, and you hit the nail on the head when you said it was good physical comedy that he had done there. It was so short and subtle.
It really was, and that's the biggest thing. So, I think that he should play some sort of Charlie Chaplin tramp character, because just that. I also am a big Charlie Chaplin fan, so that might just be me projecting on what I want to see him in, because I also like him, but. That subtlety of just, like, the look in his eye, and you saw it a lot with Eddie, too, like him falling off the bench and everything like that, but he can do physical comedy, but he was doing that very flamboyantly and over the top because he was supposed to, but that little subtle part in Catherine the Great where he just, like, okay, and he walks away, I was like, oh, that's Charlie Chaplin. I love that.
Wow.
Just the subtlety of it, oh.
That's so funny that you say that, though, because like he's been compared to Robert Downey Jr. so much, and he's played Chaplin. Wouldn't it be crazy for him to like kind of fall in that and make like a biopic or like a another type of, movie where he's playing, that type of slapstick comedy character,
It would, I don't know, the biggest thing about, Charlie Chaplin, inherently, those older actors are problematic in nature, and I think that when Chaplin came out with Robert Downey Jr. came out in Chaplin, that's probably good. We probably don't need to revisit, all the issues with Charlie Chaplin. I think that he should, and I'm a Charlie Chaplin purist, so I don't want anyone to touch it, but I know how Hollywood works if they ever touch, like, the tramp character and try to do something with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he should do City Lights. I think that was the first, like, Charlie Chaplin movie that had some kind of sound. He didn't talk, but it had sound, and because talkies were coming and everything, and I just think he'd be so good at keeping people's attention for, like, not talking, personally.
Have they tried to remake that at any point throughout, like movie theater, like film history, City Lights?
Like,
or?
the actual, like, oh, no, I don't think so. The closest that we got was Robert Downey Jr. having some clips in Chaplin of, like, recreating some scenes, but as far as I know, I don't think so.
But, like, the storyline of those films, like, developed into something a little bit more, like, now, and then have somebody, like, as you suggested, Joseph, play that character. That hasn't been done with his previous characters.
No, not that I know of. Been in, like, some little cartoon stuff.
I like the point that you made about it, because it is a silent movie and there's really only kind of music and sound effects in it, because of the expressions that Joseph is so what is the word I'm trying to say? Expressive.
Yeah.
He could, thank you. I feel like that would be a great fit for him. He'd be able to carry that role 100%.
I would think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a movie that came out a few years ago, The Artist, and it was completely silent right up until the very, very, very end. And that won actually, Best Picture at the Oscars. I think it was like that 2015.
Yeah, had a lot of accolades for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a great character for him. I completely agree. Yeah. Maybe one with a happier ending, because Joe's characters tend to be the most tragic characters.
He's secretly emo or something. Like, he's like, oh, so tragic. Gonna play it.
He might like it then. I don't think that there's a Charlie Chaplin movie that isn't a kind of sad ending. There's a hopeful ending, but it's not like, most of the time he doesn't get the girl, and City Lights has a sad ending.
Oh.
He'll be like, it's right up my alley. Like, sign me up.
He's like, got it.
I don't know if you guys got the video that I sent, because Joe showed up in a music video over the last week.
Irish Mike,
have you seen that video yet?
Yeah, we were on our talk when it popped up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's
when I was like, I couldn't speak, and I was like,
she was literally,
I have some news. I was like, hamana.
The reason I'm bringing it up is because it ties back in with him never having a happy ending. Somebody said, give this man a good role, and they're kind of like going through his filmography, and then they show the scene in the music video where somebody punches him, and I'm like, this poor man can't catch a break.
Never
Everything
can.
he's in.
I will say, though, he doesn't get the shit kicked out of him. He just gets a single punch. He's like, whoa. He talks himself out of the beating. He's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then only walks out with a black eye, just a singular black eye.
Now he's got a story.
I can't believe I don't know where I was when apparently I blacked out when we were talking to you guys before, because I don't remember that.
Oh, that poor man. I knew he blew up and was just like, they're going to find it. I know they're going to find it. Shit.
I could see, because, like, a lot of people have been saying that whole group of people in there are all of his friends. Like, they've shown up in some of his shorts that he's done. Wesley, who is one of his best friends, I guess, is the guy wearing the ski mask, from what I've been told. So I bet you they're like, this is the time. Let's re-release
No, because that's Irish
video.
Mike. Because his name's Mike, so it's another guy in a ski mask.
Was there two? Oh, okay. I was like...
Irish Mike.
That's his best friend.
But the two guys in the hoist were in, like, the scene where all they're, like, dancing in the background. They're, like, right to the left, and then Joe's over here. It's the two guys from Hoist, and I'm like, they're all mates.
Oh, I love that.
But that's either they knew they were going to find it, or they're like, put it out there again.
Do you think
this is our time to shine, babies?
Yep.
I loved seeing him doing his little dancey dance, being all drunk and stuff. I'm just like, we talked about this with the three of us. He's got to be so fun to be with, getting drunk. He's got to be like the best person. to get drunk with.
Because if he wasn't drunk in that music video, he knows how to play drunk, and that's you gotta know how to be that drunk to be drunk.
Listen,
to play drunk.
We established he's a method actor. I know he went full method for this.
He's like, shots right now.
He probably actually got punched and was like, oh, let's do another one.
Just downing pints and Guinness, and he's like, give me another. Let's do it again.
So funny.
First rule about Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Don't talk about Irish Mike.
There you go.
Just kidding.
Oh,
This hair right here is pissing me off.
Pissing me
I'm
off.
just waiting for the next big thing that's gonna come out. There's gonna be like something else you never knew
Joe was twerking.
Huh? What?
I'll say Joe was twerking. A video of Joe twerking.
Oh.
Or trying to.
That's
That'd be really funny.
not a real thing. That's just you talking hypothetically, right?
Yeah, but so what?
Oh, I thought you meant she didn't. I thought you meant there
You
was
guys
an
need to stop
actual
believing
video of
everything
Joe
I
twerking.
say because this is where things happen. You guys are like, oh my god,
She
this
thought it was
real.
a segue.
No, I,
was
don't have
like,
a video
what
of
a-
me twerking.
I was like, who did that to that poor man?
Well, the thing is, if my boyfriend decides to like play twerk or whatever, he's just shaking his legs and there's no movement, but it's an attempt. So I can see how Joe would be like trying to do the attempt of twerking, like he's just shaking and there's nothing moving,
would
but
do-
it's an attempt.
I think you would go
Yeah.
full blown Tina Belcher on it.
I got a visual with that
Oh
one.
my god, I would love to see Joe doing that Tina Belcher like. That'd be great. I have Joe's favorite dessert sitting over here beside me. Do you want me to try it on
What?
camera with everyone?
Yeah.
It's been sitting over here for a little bit, so it's all syrupy and whatever. But it's
I forgot she said she was gonna do that. The coffee and the. Oh my god!
Oh,
we'll just
I was gonna make a
just
martini
affogato.
tonight, but
No.
no.
there you
Look
go.
at that.
Yummy.
It's Haagen-Dazs pistachio ice cream. It's not gelato, sorry. It's all foamy. I put coffee in it because I don't make hot coffee, so I had to brew it. And then I bought
she
these
went all
mandolins from
out.
Target because they always have them.
Yummy.
Give it a shot.
A pistachio affogato. Is it so good?
I want to pour it all over my body right now.
I wish we had all collectively been able to be like, hey, we should all do this. Because you did mention you were gonna do that, and then
Yeah,
but
like
instead,
6 hours ago, like you guys have time to prep. Oh, let's go to Target.
I should have been like, yep, I'll go do that too. Good for you. That looks great. Now I want to go try it.
I like the chunk of
I like
nuts
one
in
of
it.
Madeline's.
I don't know about
The
pistachio
thing
ice
was,
cream.
it wasn't
though.
like green. You know how like a lot of pistachio ice creams they make them green. It wasn't green.
Yeah.
It's white with
Oh.
chunks of the pistachio in it.
Good.
I've never had these cookies before, so they're really good.
Oh, I feel like they were like, I don't know. Sam said she had one. She said they were like really, really dry. Have you ever had a Madeline, Cole, or like anything, or pistachio ice cream for that matter?
I have not had pistachio ice cream. That sounds horrid.
It's very sweet.
Apparently not. She's loving it.
It's very sweet. Like you would think,
Is
that
it?
like if it's nutty, you're like, ooh, nuts, but no. Like it's very like pistachios are very sweet nut.
I'm not a big nutter.
Yeah, I have to be in like a very specific mood for it myself. So
I'm going for a nut. It's a cashew.
a cashew.
Cashews are good.
You know what's so funny? I kind of expected that whenever they asked him what kind of milk he had, I thought he would be like cashew milk just to be different.
I feel like oat milk's a lie. You saw how he's oat milk. Like, listen,
You think
this
he
boy
just
is
drinks
lying
straight up
about
cow milk?
everything.
He had like a slight stutter coming out. He's
Straight
like,
from the cow.
oat milk.
Do you think he was? Do you think? I don't know. What do you think? I
I think he
I
might
don't-
have just been caught off guard.
Yeah. But we did want to talk about the female gaze because I feel like a lot of people that is a fan of Joe because he fits into those like female gaze sort of categories, so to speak.
I will
Yeah,
say though, like the
ahead.
first episode, I say like, well, it's not about how muscular his body is. It's not about what's considered like standard attractiveness. So when I think of like
Right.
bookmark attractiveness in Hollywood, Jason Momoa, Johnny Depp,
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, perhaps Chris Evans. You know, people like in that, they're like classically attractive, you know, fit, you know, and they have probably, of course, great personalities as well, but it's their looks that really go like, okay, well, they're comparable beauty, right? Joe doesn't fit in that parameter, and that doesn't necessarily mean he's not attractive. He's just attractive for other means, which is the female gaze.
Sure.
Well, I looked up the definition because I like to...
Definition queen.
Stop it. The female gaze looks to evoke emotions and feelings, focusing on touch, interactions, and atmosphere instead of action and just sexuality. The female gaze looks to balance the man and the woman, making them equals in all areas. AKA Joseph.
Is his photo like right there beside the definition?
See picture.
Yeah. Because my sister, I was with her this afternoon. She's one of the ones that always checks in, like, how's the podcast going? What are you guys talking about today? And I brought up the topic that we were talking about, and I read her that definition. And she goes, well, I mean, Joseph Quinn just exists, so he's the definition of the female gaze. And I go, amen.
Look at her.
She gets it.
You converted her completely.
It's not all, like, sexual attraction with him, because we've talked about it so many times. You can feel the emotions that he portrays in his roles. He's for women's rights, and there's so many examples that make him more than just a piece of flesh to me, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I agree 100%. What I was thinking about it when you told me that it was probably going to be about female gaze, I was thinking about Eddie Munson, because that's my first, obviously, introduction to Joseph Quinn.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, like, his character, because I think that his character is a good definition of the female gaze. And then I thought about what standardly people think of the female gaze with Eddie Munson. You know, he's opening the door for Chrissy. He's, you know, helping Nancy in the boat, blah, blah. But then I thought about the scene where they're in the park and he's making Chrissy feel very comfortable. Yeah. And then I find out that it's all, like, ad-libbed by Joseph Quinn. I was like, this dude just gets it. He understands. Yeah. He just gets it. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Of course you know what that is. And it's the same thing kind of with Charlie Cox, too. These are men that, like, might not have been written by women, but they know exactly what it is, what that means, and the assignment that they're like, yep, I understand 100%.
You kind of nailed it, especially with Eddie, because I think one of the things that I always kind of go back to is, you know, do you let like your inner persona kind of come through, like who you are at your core kind of come through, even through a hard exterior from time to time. And it's that vulnerability that even Eddie's able to show from time to time that really kind of speaks to people, because there is this sort of there's definitely this stigma that men are not supposed to be, like, you know, like soft, so to speak, right? And then I love it when, like, in little moments you can see a little bit of that softness peeking through, and it just works.
Yeah. And I could tell you the hottest thing Eddie Munson ever did in that show was bitch about his dad. When he's hot wiring the trailer and he just like, I never wanted to be like my dad. And I was like, oh, that to me is the female gaze. Like, when a man can see what's wrong in another man, I just don't want to be that. And I was like, yeah, you get it, man. I mean, I'm sure that one was written out, but I was like, yep, that's why I love Eddie Munson so much.
So is that you know what? That just kind of brings up a random question. Is it because it was Papa? I'm sorry.
What?
You know how he's supposed to be like number 10? Sorry.
Okay.
I went into theories. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's the theory that Eddie is actually number 10,
Papa knows
who is
how
the
to
one with the magic
hotwire.
8 ball. Yeah. I don't think
You're
the
right.
Papa would have taught him how to hotwire a car.
Nah.
Maybe it was like a telepathy.
Maybe with his mind.
Exactly.
I was going to say, I don't think he'd be getting in there with pliers and...
That's so interesting. I love to see like what triggers like different types of responses from people, because that moment that you just mentioned is not something I would have been like thought about whenever it was happening as like something that kind of qualifies like adds another layer to that female gaze aspect.
Right. I do have to say, though, I think the thing with Joe is that he gets it, but I don't think he really understands, like he's just like, oh, everyone's obsessed with, like, Eddie, and that's why. I'm like, have you, like, met you? Do you, like, know?
He does. I mean, even during the couple interviews, like, especially during the Esquire one, he just keeps insisting that people are just Eddie fans, and we're like, you haven't retained this kind of attention because of Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, you got the attention, but you haven't retained it because of Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
You've retained it because of, you know, who he'd shown the world he was. So beyond like, who is your other female gaze person, Danielle and Shannon?
That's a loaded question.
I have a list.
Okay.
Adam Driver.
1,000%.
Yep.
Are you an Adam Driver fan, Cole?
Oh, yeah. Him, Girls, House of Gucci. I kind of got it in Star Wars.
I got it in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I
was
had to really keep
high-waisted
it
pants
cool
for
when
me.
he was wearing those high-waisted pants when he was, like, talking to Ray telepathically, and all I saw was them pecs, and I was like... And
I saw those in Girls.
I'm just sitting next to my boyfriend like,
Yeah.
it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh man, him and Girls was great. It was a high-waisted pants for me. And then honestly, the fact he's so like, there's something about an actor that's so private too, that is really wanting to compartmentalize his personal from his, you know, public eye. Like, Joe is a very private person.
Yeah.
So is Adam Driver. Keanu Reeves is another great example of that.
Yeah.
I mean, up to, like, recently, Johnny Depp was an extremely private person.
For sure.
You know? And I don't think he had much of a choice. I think if he had his way, he also would have remained private.
Right.
Mine's always been like Sebastian Stan, Harry Styles. They just have always gotten me, and I just love them. I don't have any specific examples. It's just those two have always been the number one and number two. And then now Joe is part of that top three. It's just their natural essence, if that makes sense. Just watching them is just so comforting to me.
Can I add one more female gaze person?
Yes.
He was never a hyperfixation, but I remember seeing The Jacket, and Adrian Brody I thought was so sexy. He was very hot for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Did we talk about how everybody kept telling you that you are like what they think Eddie Munsten's girlfriend would be like?
Oh, no, we haven't talked about that.
Did we talk? I want to talk about
Oh
that.
my God. Cole, you're the Eddie gaze. You're the Eddie gaze.
You're Eddie's gaze because you are. First of all, you are stunning.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning.
Yes.
Thank you.
People had been telling you this for a while, or leading up to it, or whenever they wanted you to watch it. How did that go down?
I don't remember what video it was. I don't know if it was like the first one that I posted about Eddie Munson, where I was just like, I will throw family, friends, and my dignity away for this man. And then someone was just like, oh, you look like what I would imagine Eddie Munson's girlfriend to look like. And I was like, I don't know if that's just because I'm from Indiana, so I look like Indiana trash, but I'm fine with that. And then I posted the first video, and then a bunch of people saw it and was like, yeah. And then TikTok removed my sound, my Joan Jett sound, so I had to re-upload it. And people are just like, 100%. And then there's a bunch of people being like, Eddie's gay. And I was like, God, okay.
What?
I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Is it because of the bandana?
The hanky code, and then, steady. And everything like that.
The two scenes that they stared at each other for 0.5 seconds, like they're lovers.
Or he's bi.
I would believe he's bi.
I would believe he's bi.
He's crushing on Chrissy. I don't know what to tell you. He might have been crushing on Steve too, but
My thing.
You also have this essence, Cole, to you that I feel like Eddie would really like that. Like, you're kind of like still kind of a little like tough, like you could handle yourself.
He would appreciate that.
I feel like Eddie likes that, you know, he kind of understands the whole like damsel in distress thing, and you know, but I feel like he would appreciate a girl that can like fend for herself. I think you have that kind of
Thank
essence
you.
to you too.
I tried to.
Maybe that's why.
That
You know
first
what I
video,
mean?
I was just like, oh no, I was his ex-girlfriend. And then people were like, oh, you're the one who introduced him to metal, and I was like,
Yeah, that's a good one.
They've created a whole storyline for you. You broke his heart and taught him how to play guitar.
Oh, can you imagine?
We need an
wow.
Eddie Munson origin story.
That's
and
awesome.
it
You
needs
taught
to
him his first
feature
chords.
Cole.
Oh my god, I could write it.
I met him when his head was buzzed.
Were you
And I will
in the
tell you
lab?
this. No one asked me, but I'm going to tell you. If they would have kept his curtain bangs, have you seen that picture
Yeah.
of him in the wig?
Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you right now.
That Farrah Fawcett
would
hair,
have
Jesus.
would have blown up TikTok. I love that look. If he would have had the curtain bangs instead of
He needed the curtains.
And he's like frolicking through. Are you talking about the wig? Because they said that he went through multiple wigs before they settled on the one that he wore. Are you talking about the one where he's in like the parking lot and he's like,
yeah, I think so.
flopping his hair
I know
around
that there's
and
one where
stuff?
he's like holding a dog.
Yeah.
There's one where he's like running around. But I thought that was the wig that he wore. It just was parted this way before they styled it. Yeah.
It was styled different. Yeah,
I think
maybe
that
they
they
permed it or
permed it.
something, like to get the Eddie wig now.
But yeah, he said that they went through
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 wigs before they
The
decided
beast.
the one that he was going to wear. But
The-
I swear to you, we would have gotten a whole different
Absolute
Eddie at that
nightmare I would have been if that man walked on screen with a curtain bang.
He had the right hair though, because I feel like if he had that Farrah Fawcett hair, it looked like he was trying to do like a Cinderella Poison.
Yeah, he would have looked real
haircut, and
poison
that's
in
not
that
the
for
type of
sure.
metal
But
he
I'm
was.
telling. I was just like I was this
Right.
close to getting curtain bang Eddie.
No, it's still hot.
Curtain bang
Still
Eddie.
hot.
You kidding me?
Hey, I mean, at least we got a photo out of it. That's way more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would have loved to see
Exactly.
Curtain Bang Joe. I tell you
Also,
what,
curtain bang Eddie wet would have looked nuts.
I just cannot move on from Curtain Bang Eddie. Because
We are forever stans of Curtain Bang Eddie.
I hope
I have to
that
make
if
edits
he
now of Joe
survives
with
and
curtain
this-
bangs.
He goes through this 2-year timeline. I hope that he at least gets himself a new little curtain bang moment, because I need to see that. I need to see that like frolicking about, you know.
Yeah.
I need to see it in the wind. That's so fucking funny.
Whenever he rides his bike and he's like this, and his curtain bangs are just floating in the wind.
Undulating.
Flopping around.
I would love that. It would make me so happy.
Oh man. I hope to God we see him again.
Just to cycle back to like the female gaze and Joe,
Yeah.
what would you say is your favorite thing about him? It doesn't necessarily have to be physical. You can maybe say a physical thing and a non-physical thing. What would you say like your favorite thing about Joe is?
I think mine is dude's got a smile on him. He's got a really nice smile. And I might not have listened to the whole thing because I was re-listening to his off menu. And there's a bit where they do about like drinking martinis in the upside down. He's funny.
so
He seems
funny.
like he's really, really funny.
Talking about
And that's all I need.
Dustin's tiny hands, like holding the black
Oh
pepper.
my god.
And I don't know if it's also just the British in him, but he's just like, he'll just say little things where you're just like, what? He's just like,
Yeah.
okay. He seems like a funny guy for sure.
And he carried that over into Eddie in a lot of the scenes, because they've showed us little snippets of the script, and you can tell where he's improv and stuff, and like they're so bland and tired in this, but then he adds his little Joe-isms to them, and they're just like perfect. He's so funny. I've listened to that off menu podcast at work, and every single time I'm just dying laughing. He's so funny.
I was in tears. It was so funny. I do have a couple questions for you if I can ask you guys some questions.
Please.
And I don't know. I've listened to a couple of your episodes, and I don't know if you've hit on it yet. And if you have, I haven't listened to that episode. What's the first thing you're asking when he's on here?
What's your Vecna
Oh.
song? Just as a joke.
What's your Vecna song?
Just as a joke.
He immediately leaves. Like, all right, see ya.
He's like, all right, see you later.
Right, bye.
It
Was fun. See ya.
If it's not What's Your Vecna song, I don't want it.
No, I think as a collective, I think we really just want to ask and be like, do you know what you're doing? Because we want to know, are people telling you, or do you know in the back of your mind
In like what sense?
what you're
What do you
doing
mean?
as a whole to the world?
To the world?
Do you know? No.
Just existing and being Joe, like, and like giving us what we want.
Because it's like
I think-
if you think about it, right when we're starting to be like, oh, we haven't seen anything new, we're running off of crumbs. We'll get a music video. We'll get a photo shoot. You know?
Yeah,
like, and the whole
that's
thing
just
about
that
his
CAA
chains, like, we were all like, we know that the one chain is a staple. Like, it's been part of his wardrobe since he was a kid. All of a sudden, people online were talking about, can you imagine if he were to wear a double chain? And then that weekend, oh, God, hello?
Oh, jeez.
Laura.
So we just pop in and out sometimes.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
But then we talked about, could you imagine if he were to wear 2 chains? And not even days later, pictures surfaced of him in Italy having 2 chains on.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, do you know, or are you being told?
At the Canada Fan Expo Sunday, he wore
3.
3 fucking chains.
Soon he's going to have like 8 on.
Yeah.
Like, do you just need more chains?
I
Or?
made a video about this. I made a video about this week because I was like, 1 chain or 2 chain day is the equal version of bones or no bones day for me at this point.
100%.
like 2 chains equals a bones day. They're few and far between, but we're doing things that we don't usually do.
If we get 3, we're going
one chain
fucking buck
day.
wild.
Abso-fucking-lutely, baby.
Yeah, those, we haven't really narrowed down an exact answer, but as a joke, I think when or if we meet him, it's going to be What's Your Vecna song, just to like set the mood on like what kind of vibes we're bringing.
Yeah.
Because we would sit there and act serious and be like, just kidding. Because he gets asked that 87 times.
If you want to answer, that's fine. If not,
I think
Up and Down by Vegna Boys is just fine.
Are you sure it's not Move Along by Irish Mike?
Irish Mike.
I think the other one was like, do you see the shit that people put on the internet about you, or do people show you, or
I don't even know if
are
I
you
would
just
bring
completely
that
oblivious to it?
Space, and like I don't even know if I want to bring that into that space, like open up that can of worms.
Yeah.
That might be like a sandwich question. Like once he gets comfortable with us, that's when I break out the show me your passport, Joe. Hand it over. Let's figure out your fucking birthday, man. Like those are like sandwich
messing
pictures. After
around.
he gets comfortable with us and starts liking us, then we're like, all right, hard hitting.
Yeah. I hope
His
that answers your
publicist jumps over the table.
I was like, no.
I thought I told you not to ask about his birthday.
Well, guess what? He's around fans, so he's gonna answer these questions, ma'am.
Oh my
He was born in
gosh.
1925. Let's move on.
Born in 1925, Joseph
I
Quinn.
can't wait.
the
Yeah, so
other questions
that's
that
what
you
we
have.
would ask him. Yeah.
I've got one more for you. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do if he ever gets canceled? What happens to the podcast?
We
Joe
actually
will
have a
not
plan
be
for that.
canceled. He's a pure soul. He's amazing and beautiful, and it will never fucking happen.
Yeah,
But in the
that will never
event-
happen. I'm hypothetically.
Hypothetically, in the event that this roller coaster of Joe comes to its end,
We don't like the thought right now, only because we're very much in the Joe train right now. Like in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to talk about anything else but Joe right now. Like I don't like having to think about that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll eventually happen, So
I think that the other thing about it is like depending, not that, God forbid he does actually get canceled or anything like that, as far as like,
knock on some wood.
I've been knocking on wood. Don't you?
my bed's made of wood. Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
We're good.
Y'all, I can't. I don't know. I think that the episodes that we've recorded so far would probably and have also put out would be something we'd have to like discuss, because that's a really
leave them up. We had a good time making them.
I mean, I would. I mean, that was a point in time where you're just like, he wasn't then, so
he wasn't a horrible person.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
or at least we didn't know he was, which I'm sure he's obviously not. We all know this.
But like, we'll revel in the good times that we had and just look back and smile and move forward. That's what we would do.
Well, I was thinking about this when I found your guys' podcast. I was like, this is so smart. This guy is catapulting to just being in everything for at least the next 5 years. So you guys will have nothing short of just shit to talk about.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I think that's what a lot of people forget.
I don't want one season of Joe and then all of a sudden we have to move over because he just went meow. Like, I don't want that. I don't think that's gonna happen either. I feel like he's gonna constantly be relevant for a while. So I think we're gonna be good for a little while.
And I think that I think the most important thing, I think it's so funny because we've had all types of people like, interact with us. We've had people that have been like, seriously, you're doing a podcast about this guy, like that, how desperate are you? Or like, you don't have we've heard things like, you don't have a grip on reality, or like, you're absolutely psychotic, leave the man alone. At least people have said that to me. But at the same time, there are people out there that are wanting to talk about him, that want more content about him. And so we're doing that. And that's the thing, is sure, we're at the peak of this. But we are truly, all three of us, friends. We've really grown to love and care for each other. And so this podcast is currently 100% about him, but at the core of it too, it's three people that were in different parts of the country that became friends because of him. And it could pivot in any way, in any direction between now and stops being the it boy of the of Hollywood.
There's bound to be another one.
Yeah.
Well, you guys also aren't just talking about we touched on how good he looks and whatever, but you guys talk about insightful things of his character and just like acting in general. And that's one of the things like I like to do, is just like dissect of different things and seeing, I mean, he's an actor at the end of the day. He's making choices for a certain reason, and he's making moves that, know, and it's a very interesting thing to watch it just in general for anyone. And this, and a lot of British actors have a lot of background in like theater and stuff like that. So they are, if they're coming from England, they've got a real passion for acting and storytelling, which is always fun to see, like where they came from, what plays they've been in and everything like that. So
that's such a good point.
Yeah.
That is such a good point.
I made a video of him saying fucking filthy martini, and I made a video of like me falling over, and everyone made the same joke, and I was like, oh, that's not funny because everyone made the same joke. But I had a bunch of people just being like, go outside to touch some grass. I'm like, what? All right, well, okay. Like, grass is dying and Joseph Quinn's a lot of fun. I don't know what we're doing. Yeah. I was like, what are we doing? I was like, okay.
You get off my page and mind your own fucking business. Like, you don't have to fucking...
People who don't get it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be like, oh my God, my family and friends are going to see these fucking Joe videos of mine. And then at some point I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Well, that's what I don't understand about people making fun of, like, people that dress up like Eddie Munson or whatever, and they're just like, it's always like a weird stitch of someone just staring and be like, this is stupid. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You're just looking at another human being enjoying life, and you're just going to be like, this is weird, I don't get it. Like, cool.
Like, as long
Move
as
on,
we're
Mary.
not
What are we
harming
doing?
anyone,
You have a finger scroll.
we're fueling our own hyperfixation and possibly fueling someone else's. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, we're just being us and wanting to do what we want to do. Like, you're just saying that just to be mean and hurtful for your own gain, and like, it's not cool.
There are people out there though that like people like that. I made a video today, but there are people that are just on the internet just to get the worst kind of attention.
I saw that video that you made. Are you talking about Andrea Tate? I thought that was the funniest.
I did call her Andrea Tate.
I was at work and I just started laughing. But that's just... People sometimes just want to be the bully just because, I don't know, they're insecure. They want to be, like, I don't know. That girl to me felt like a pick-me girl. Like, really? Are you...
Yeah.
You're coming at someone else so loud and you look like a wet carrot. What do we...
Doesn't she? My thing is, like, why? Like, it costs literally nothing to mind your own business, you know? And it's so ugly to see, first of all, a woman tearing down other women. And if you don't know what we're talking about, there's a video circulating the internet right now about some girl on a podcast saying something to the effect of, like, name one girl over 300 pounds that's attractive. And I'm like, I can name 1,000 girls that are beautiful at 300 plus pounds. And let me tell you what, they are 10 times more beautiful than you are. There are those people that will literally just watch, you know, our videos, or they'll see me doing what I'm doing, or Shannon, or even Danielle, and then they'll say something mean. For what? Like, why? Mind your own, like, there's joy here. I am happy, you know, and my happiness does not affect you in any way, shape, or form, except I'm not being a fucking bitch right now, and you don't have to deal with that. So, you should be happy that I'm happy.
But we're so excited that you came and hung out with us tonight. You're such a gem. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you.
You're so much fun, and you're very light, and you just have, like, the best aura about you. And when I say light, I mean, like, your aura is very light.
Your ring light's pretty banging as well.
Yes, as well.
Thank you. I'm double lighted up here because I had a backlight. It was a whole thing.
Double lighted. Dang.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so. Please, oh God, we're probably gonna have, like, a whole bunch of these, like, little clips that we are gonna be sending you, just in case you, like, want to get a little sneak peek. But
100%.
you are so much fun. Please come back.
Oh yeah.
And you know, if you don't follow Cole on TikTok or Instagram, you want to put out your socials?
Yeah, Cole on TikTok, CHOLE Miller.
Miller.
Because Miller was taken. And then it's just Cole Miller on Instagram.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Well, thank you so much. You are the absolute shit. We will keep up with you forever and ever. And if you ever do your own podcast, please, like, know that you have our full on support. Even if you don't, just know you have our full on support. And if you do want us on, we will be the first ones there for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for tolerating us. / me.
Thank you. Seriously. Thank you. Because this was so much fun. So
Yes,
we'll
it
send you
It
that.
was a lot of fun.
Good.
That sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cole. We'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
Bye,
Sounds
girl.
Bye, Cole.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. So that was amazing.
I'm
Honestly,
still starstruck.
I know, me too.
I love her so much.
Honestly, well, and so we were all like we had a couple of drinks. We were kind of loosey-goosey. For a second there, we were like, what's happening? But she was such a good sport throughout all of it. And she's so much fucking fun. Do you ever see somebody and you're like there at the beginning of their career and you just know they're going to, like, completely take off?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel about Cole. I genuinely think she just has so much ahead of her, and that was so much fun, and I hope she'll come back.
I'm
she's
excited.
so humble and chill and, like, real, and, like, it really just feels like you're just hanging with the girls. Yeah.
Hanging with the homies.
She really is just, like, a cool fucking person, like, through and through.
Hell yeah.
Cole, we fucking loved you. If you ever do your own podcast, just know that you have 3 huge fans right here from the fucking get-go. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I think we're gonna keep the outro short and sweet today, guys. Do we have anything else that we needed to make sure we talk about?
Socials.
What?
I didn't even hear what you said. I just saw your body language and I loved it.
Socials.
Salsa?
Now you make me
sorry.
want salsa. Yeah.
Socials.
Oh, let's plug our socials. Do you want to start it off, Shannon?
Socials.
My Instagram is
Starry Eyes, STARRYYEYES. And then what's up, Shannon, on TikTok? Come say what's up.
My Instagram is Miss Danielle, MISSDANYELL. And then my TikTok is DEEE Young. Young.
I am Laura Vanessa, Laura with an H at the end and Vanessa with an H at the end on both TikTok and on Instagram. Come say hello.
And don't forget to check in next week because we're talking about Joe's bromances. And it's
Joe's
gonna be
bromances!
I'm so excited for next week's episode so we can gush over all of our favorite boys.
If I don't see him with Jamie this week, I'm going to fucking pretend like we did and talk about what they should have done. Because I need to see the two of them in the same room.
We can just make up our own headcanons about it and share it with the people.
Absolutely. So.
Yep. So don't forget to check in next week, and we love you. You guys are the best.
Every week, we're so thankful for you, truly. So, if you have anything to say, also, we haven't really done a lot of these, but if you've met Joe and you want to share your story, please email us or DM us to our Instagram account. Our email is thequintessentialspodcast@gmail.com. That's THEQUINN essentials podcast@gmail.com. So yeah, or just DM us on Instagram at the Quinn Pod.
And cut.
Thank you guys for coming. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.